to
Hello,
this
welcome
English
to this
lesson about
English lessons
phrases
about
that start
phrases that
with
start
in
with
the.
in the.
So in this
So in
English
this
lesson,
English
I will
lesson,
teach you
I will
just over
teach you just over
25 phrases. I
25
think there are
phrases. I
25.
think there
Oh,
are
there's
24.
24.
24
phrases that we
phrases
use
that we use
that start
that
with
start
in the.
with in
Examples
the.
would be in
Examples
the
would
end,
be
in the past, in the future, in the spotlight, in the bag, in the process, in the dark, in the way. There are a lot of phrases that start this way. In fact, there are so many phrases. I myself was able to think of 24 of them without having to do any searching or to ask AI to fill out my list for this English lesson. So, what are these phrases? These are common phrases we use in English. If you look at this one, this person is in the lead. You'll notice I used a phrase with in the in order to describe the fact that this person is winning the race. And there are many more English phrases that work this way. So, once again, welcome to this English lesson about phrases that have or start with in the lead, which means to be ahead of everyone else in a race, competition, or contest. So right now, we are experiencing the World Cup. We are watching teams win. We are watching teams lose. So some teams have players who have scored a lot of goals, and they are now in the lead for total number of goals. Actually, here they are tied for the lead. So this might be a bad example, but Mbappe and Messi, looks like Mbappe is number one, and he is in the lead. So that means he is ahead of everyone else in a race, competition, or contest. I'm not sure who will get the golden boot. I think that's the prize for being the top scorer in the FIFA World Cup, but in the lead, to be ahead of everyone else in a race, competition, or contest. So, if you run in a race, and if you are the person who is ahead of everyone else, you are in the lead. You are ahead of everyone else in a race, competition, or contest. By the way, I should add this. It only happens while the race is happening. Once the race is over, you have either won the race or someone else passed you. So you can only be in the lead while the competition or race is happening. In the know. Having information that most other people do not have. So here we have one lady whispering to another lady, and she's saying, the surprise party for Bet is in 2 weeks. Is it in 2 weeks? Maybe it's in 3 weeks. Anyways, if you know something and other people don't know it, you're in the know. Okay? If your boss says, don't tell anyone, but we're going to be hiring 3 new people in a month, but it's a secret right now, you are in the know. You have information that most other people do not have. So sometimes it's fun to be in the know. It's not nice if you're not in the know. If someone says, hey, I hear you're at work, they're going to hire some new people. You might say, well, I'm not in the know. I have no idea. Or you might say, yeah, my boss told me it's nice to be in the know. So again, in the know, having information that most other people do not have. In the clear, free from danger, trouble, or suspicion. If a police officer pulled me over for a driving offense, and then during the stop, the police officer started to look in my car, I'd be like, what is he looking for? What's going on? By the way, I don't do anything illegal. But if he says, okay, you're free to go, that means I'm in the clear. I'm allowed to leave. If there was a fire on our farm, and I was in the middle of the area where the fire was, I would run to be in a safe area, and when I got to the safe area, I'd be in the clear. I'd be free from danger. So when you are in the clear, you are free from danger, trouble, or suspicion. In the news. I've never really been in the news. They've never announced that Bob the Canadian has done something amazing and we need to report on it. But in the news means being talked about or reported on by the media. Now here's a funny example though. Jen has been in the news. Every few years someone will come to the farmer's market, a journalist who's writing a newspaper article, and they will talk to Jen and they'll take pictures of her booth. They love taking pictures of the flower booth because it makes for a good picture. And then Jen will be in the news. So someone will say, hey, I saw you the other day, you were in the news. So it can mean the newspaper, but I should say, as I say it, I think it has an undertone of being on TV, and Jen has never been on TV, but in the news, being talked about or reported on by the media. in the way,
in the way,
blocking someone or something from moving or working properly. So something can be in the way, or a person can be in the way. Yesterday, I had to have an electrician come to the farm because we were having trouble with the electrical circuits that run the flower coolers. But there was a lot of stuff in the way. So I had to move boxes and vases, boxes of vases and other stuff that Jen had. It was all in the way. So I had to move it so the electrician could come and do his work. A person can sometimes also be in the way. When Jen and I are loading things into the van, if someone comes to talk to us, one of our kids, sometimes they stand in the way and you're like, move, get out of the way. So when you are in the way, you're blocking someone or something from moving or working properly. And if something is in the way, it also can block you from doing what you need to do. You can see here, these boxes are in the way. And this man is going to get in trouble for this soon. You'll see in a picture coming up. But yes, in the way, blocking someone or something from moving or working properly. In the distance, far away, but still able to be seen or heard. So the main focus of this photo is not the man, but in the distance you can see the mountains. In the distance you can see the sun is hitting the top of the mountain. It's very, very cool. In the distance you can see a few clouds in the sky. So when you use the phrase in the distance, it definitely means far away, but you're still able to see it or maybe hear it. Like I heard a sound in the distance. I heard a dog barking in the distance. In the distance, you can see there's rain. There are rain clouds coming. So once again, in the distance, far away, but still able to be seen or heard. In the doghouse, in trouble with someone because of something you did. So this phrase you might hear on a TV show or in a movie. It is almost always portrayed as a wife getting annoyed with her husband, and then we say the man is in the doghouse. So this, I guess, is supposed to bring about an image of the man actually going outside and maybe sleeping in the doghouse where the dog normally lives because his wife is very angry with him. You can also be in the doghouse at work. Like if you do something to annoy your boss, he might give you a really crummy job for the day and you might say, yes, I talked badly to the boss, now I'm in the doghouse. But generally you will see this phrase used to talk about a husband who has done something to annoy his wife, and now his wife is annoyed. So I guess in this picture, maybe the man actually put the boxes in the way, and now his wife is like, don't put those boxes in the way. So the man is in trouble with someone because of something that he did. In the dark. Not knowing or not being told important information. So if you are in the dark, you are not in the know. So when you're in the know, you know information, but when you're in the dark, you don't know information. So this man in the background, I was going to say in the distance, he's not quite far away enough for that, but in the distance you can see apartment buildings. He's in the dark. He is not in the know. The two people whispering are talking about something, probably something important, and he's wondering, what are they talking about? Is it the surprise party for my birthday? So, in the dark, not knowing or not being told important information. This can happen at work. Often at work, I'm in the dark about things because I am a teacher and I am not a superintendent. I'm not a principal. I'm not a vice principal. I'm not an administrator. Sometimes they are in the know about things that I don't need to know. I'd rather be in the dark because they deal with important stuff that normal teachers don't need to worry about. In the process, when something is happening. So you might have friends who are in the process of building a new house. Someone might be in the process of looking for a new job. You might be in the process of starting a business. So when something is happening, we sometimes use the phrase in the process. So this definitely is a house, and you can see they're in the process of building it. They aren't starting to build it. They aren't done building it. They're in the process. You could also, here's another phrase, you could also say they're in the middle of building it. So you can see they have the first floor done. Looks like they have an electrical box here. with some protective poles around it, and they are starting on the second floor. They are in the process of building this house. Now, I'm actually not sure, as I described this, how many times I said process and how many times I said process. So they're in the process of building a house. They're in the process of building a house. I think because I live in Canada, there are a number of words that we pronounce two different ways. Process. Produce is another one. So you can produce, you can have produce. Anyways, I don't want to confuse you too much. This house is definitely in the process of being built. So it is when something is happening. In the bag, almost